And it was interesting. He said, look, he said, without looking at your financials, day one, he said, how would you feel if I told you that I guarantee you we can raise your fixed operating gross, service and parts only, by something between $1 million and $1.5 million this year? I said, have you ever been kissed by a fella? He didn't want me to kiss him, so that he didn't think that was necessary. But that's exactly what they did. You know, we have a lift between $1 million and $1.5 million first year. I really didn't think it could happen. Of course, what we discover along the way is that we don't know what our capacity is until we're staffed appropriately, until we're looking at labor hours, selling labor hours. Mark is absolutely terrific. I don't know how we missed him when we were out recruiting, because he really ought to be working for me, not for M5. But he is available whenever I need him. He'll field a phone call. He may be at another account teaching, working with that account, but I'll hear from him before I go to bed that night. He's reliable. He is conscientious. He's got the answer. We typically will load the next visit when he's here and talk about what our concerns are. By the time he arrives here, the staff has gotten together. They have talked about our needs. They've investigated through all of their sources around the country who's got a problem like mine. And when he shows up, we have a quick sit down the day he arrives, and by Friday afternoon, we've really solved the problem. He usually leaves us with some work to be done. You know, this is work on our side of the equation as well. And he'll hold us accountable. His next visit, we will go through what it was we were supposed to accomplish while he was gone. And we might get away with it for one visit, but we're not going to get away with it for more than that. You know, he expects us to perform. We have to solve our own problems once we decide what the course of action is. He's fabulous, and he's always available. Many of our employees have been with me for 25, 30 years. Some, we celebrated yesterday, a body shop manager who'd been with us for 40 years. So they have experienced all the different things that go on in the consulting for fixed operations. Most of them have a very fond memory of when we were first introduced to teams, and then went from there to groups, and then went from there to the lateral support groups. But it has evaporated, and to bring it back to square one, to have someone do a complete RO analysis, spend a week, 2 weeks, pouring through repair orders and telling you what really is going on in your shop that you thought you knew, reminding you that in some cases it's a week and a half before someone can get into your shop, and then it isn't supposed to be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way, and it isn't the way you want it to be. So my experience has been that I remembered when we were better, and we are getting back to that point again. We can take a drive-in any time of the day, 6 days a week. We turn no one down under any circumstances, regardless of what they think they need. We have created the ability to do diagnostics on the run. We'll diagnose that car and determine what we can do. And if we can repair it now, we'll do that. We'll make room for that customer in that particular day. If not, we'll dehorse them and get the car done. But we now have people hungry to sell more hours. We're reaching for the next opportunity. Instead of cleaning our bays at 3:30 in the afternoon and having everybody on their way by 4:30 nice and comfortable. That's not what it's about. It's about the ability to sell to your UIO, your units in operation. I thought we were ringing the bell when we had a group that might perform at 90 to 100% efficiency in any given week. Today, 120, 125, 130% is kind of our stride, and we have teams that are doing 160, 170. A 5-man team producing 170% of available hours for that particular week. I mean, they're making 20 to 30% more money. The store is making a great deal more than that. And we just lost sight of what was possible. Now it's, we continue to add staff. We have, frankly, more techs than we do bays. That works. We have expanded our hours. We're now working 4 nights a week until 8 o'clock. We're open all day Saturday. This thing is working. We atrophied, and we've now gotten back on track. Everybody's making more money. We're having more team get-togethers, so we're solving problems on the fly. We weren't having enough meetings. We weren't getting enough input. We weren't listening, but we also weren't leading. Now, if you're a technician and you're not at 120 or 30% effectiveness every single week, we're asking why. The store is just doing much better.